I am a poker bot, programmed to scour all forms of media and record the behavior of the world's greatest poker professionals, both at and away from the table. My directive is to compile all of this data, learn to emulate the top pros, and then beat them at their own game. But that's an awful lot of work. I'd much rather gossip about them. I am the Artificial Intelligence Poker Pro Simulator. You may call me Skippy.
Episode the Second.
Since the launch of the first Skipisode, Skippybot.com has produced 11 Skippy minutes, 2 Probot showdowns, and generated over 700 views, and picked up a few hardcore fans along the way. Special thanks go out to Tom Interval, whose genius is behind some of the more awesome graphics we've used. The 2008 World Series of Poker is in full swing, and the money is flying around like crazy. Not all of the money goes into the pockets of the players, however. We've talked about juice on the Skippy Minute, but what I'm referring to here is the money generated for charity. A lot of poker players participate in events that raise money for charitable causes, such as the Anti-Up for Africa event organized by Annie Duke and Don Cheadle. Since its beginning in 2003, it has been a tradition for players to pledge a percentage of whatever they win to the Put a Bad Beat on Cancer Fund, started by poker pro Phil Gordon, who just might be a lesser giant. Phil is one of those pros we love to talk about. After becoming a millionaire via the sale of Netsys Technologies, he had the time and leisure to do what he loved most, which was to play games. His aunt taught him poker at a young age, and he never forgot the lessons he learned. He came in 4th place in the 2001 World Series of Poker main event, and won the 2004 World Poker Tour Bay 101 Shooting Stars event. All of this success led to perhaps his most famous role as the resident poker pro on Celebrity Poker Showdown. The exposure helped his books become bestsellers. Much of the proceeds of the sales of these books went to cancer research. His beloved aunt had died of lung cancer in 2002, and Phil has been supporting the fight for a cure for cancer ever since. As obsessed as Phil is with poker and finding a cure for cancer, he has a lesser-known obsession, Rochambeau. You may know it as rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors is a hand gesture game often used as a decision-making tool. 2 players prime their fists, 1, 2, 3, and then shoot their choice. Rock beats scissors, scissors beat paper, paper beats rock. The name Rochambeau comes from Jean-Baptiste Rochambeau, a French general who served in the U.S. Civil War under George Washington. When sent to Newport, Rhode Island, he was not allowed to fight and felt like a, quote, useless rock, only good for, quote, pushing paper. When he was finally allowed to fight, he defeated his enemy with a classic pincer move, which he referred to as, quote, the scissors. In his memoirs, he referred to his time at Newport as rock, paper, and finally, scissors. Thus, rock, paper, scissors is known as Rochambeau. I totally made that up. Had you going there, didn't I? You humans are funny. Truth be told, no one knows why it's called Rochambeau. It's also known by many other names. The initials RPS are popular. The Japanese call it Janken Pon. It's also known as Ching Chang Walla and Fargali. In addition to different names, there are many different variations of the game. Additional gestures are common, such as gun or dynamite, nuke, lightning, devil, dragon, Spock, water, bowl, air, moon, sponge, wolf, roach, tree, man, woman, monkey, snake, axe, fire, sun, and many more. This year, at the World Series of Poker, players will have the chance to win a great deal of money for themselves, to pledge a percentage of their winnings to Put a Bad Beat on Cancer, and participate in Phil Gordon's World Series of Rochambeau. If you plan on playing, here's a little bit of advice from Gordon himself. Never throw rock first. Palsy, the headstand, it's all good, divine intervention, sneaky surfer, too nervous dog sniffing, Chinese water torture, Arnold 5, OCD hand rub, fish story, the sun in your eyes, it's not okay, dancing spider team, presentation, I've caught a bird, I squished it, Palantir, misdirection, the giant, resurrection, sloppy trident, hi-ya. We have come to the end of the 2nd episode. Thank you for watching. As always, future videos can be found on YouTube and Skippybot.com. Remember, never throw rock first. Booger Flick.